Hello and welcome to the Full Force Weekly, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury Editions. I'm your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, and joining me on the show today, as always, is the awesome Patrick Notpicard Stewart. In this episode, we bring you all the news from the past week in the world of YoJoe. So what is it, Pat?
It's the Full Force Weekly.
Yes, it is. And look who's joining us. Hello. It's Annie. Do you want to say hello, darling, to all of the viewers? There you go. Look, this is Annie. This is the new addition to the Kirkwood McLeod family. How are you doing? How are you doing, Pat?
I'm doing fine. She looks so sweet. She's a nice new addition.
Isn't she gorgeous? Are you going to say anything? Do you want to say anything to the to your fans? Hang on, let me just. I'll do some. Let's do some ASMR. Here you go. Do you want to have a little treat? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very quiet.
Anyway, yes, this is one of the reasons why we've been so sporadic this week with the whole like news burst stuff. I've done a little news burst videos, but I haven't been able to go live or anything for a long period of time. And we've been picking this gorgeous angel up. She's been absolutely amazing. She went on a very long 2-day car journey and she did absolutely fantastic, didn't you? Yes, you did. So look at her ears, aren't they adorable? So anyway, I just wanted to introduce everyone to the newest member of the Full Force team. She's going to be doing most of the editing from now on, so you could probably expect a slight change in the quality, probably an increase.
Get better?
Yeah, it's going to get much better. It's going to get much better, isn't it, honey? Are you happy? Yeah. Do you want to go back upstairs and just relax and enjoy the show from a distance now? Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone. Well, there you go. Annie says hello to everybody. Thank you, Pat, for there we go, for saying hello to our beautiful little angel. There you go. Right then. Awesome. She's going to run around the basement now. No, there she off she goes. Anyway, how are you doing, pal?
I'm doing fine. No new doggies for me, but it's really nice to see her.
She's my new animal companion. Twisted Kister says Hasbro's killing it with these new pets. I know, that's a hell of a figure, that, isn't it? Very articulated, I would say. Highly articulated.
Yeah.
Jim Smith says it's 10. It's Saturday. Pat's on. Is everything okay? Yes, Pat is here today. I haven't unfortunately had to go on a Friday, or there isn't any other stuff going on, so we are back in the game.
As of about 5 p.m. yesterday, I was a little worried I wouldn't make it, but
there was a worry, but he's here. It's all good. She can do coverage of the G.I. Joe and Cobra pets, says Figure Six Pack. Yeah, we'll do an episode with Annie, and Annie can do it. Annie is adorable, says Rexship. Thank you very much. Totes adorbs, as Destro would say, says Ryan Daly. Brilliant. Hello, everyone. There's loads of you in here. Fantastic. What else are we saying? Crunch Munch, says Figure Six Pack. Schnauzer, yes, Diecast Nick. She's a little mini Schnauzer. And wait till she chooses your Joes. That's a good point, actually. She's going to probably have to keep her away of all of the G.I. Joe figures. The flocking looks great, says Tim. It does, actually, doesn't it? It's good flocking effect on the hair right there. Bry says, and thank you very much for the super chat, Bry. We're going to need a doggo cam. Yes, we are. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Just put like a GoPro on her and she can run around everything. You see what she does during the day. That'd be quite fun. Anyway, enough of that's all the excitement for today. Thank you, Bri, for the super chat. We really appreciate it. Lots of news to get into, Pat. Loads of stuff coming. Obviously, it's the Eve. It's YoJoe June Eve, which is really exciting. Lots of stuff planned next month, of course, from the official Hasbro scenario. Are you excited for the month to come?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what all is coming out. You know me. I'm hoping to see something from Super 7.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, obviously they've been through the ringer recently, so
they have.
It'll be interesting to see what actually happens off the back of all of that. Really, yeah, for sure. She can do a review of Law and Order, says Figure Six Pack. She certainly can. Yeah, we've got loads to talk about. We've got Loyal Subjects, another render of their masked vehicles kind of popped up. We'll talk about that in a little while. We've also got Gridiron Studios news, which is nuts, absolutely nuts. Delta 17 Joe Fest exclusive news. we've got all sorts of stuff to get into, and of course lots of classified stuff. Of course, probably the biggest news of the week is that Budo render reveal, which I think was the most annoying thing ever for me, because I was driving for like 12 hours at that point. And I saw the message at one of the stops. I was like, at 54 minutes it had been up, and I'm just like, oh, great. In any case, we'll get to all of that very shortly. But we'll start, Pat, I guess, with loyal subjects, I believe. Let's do it. Yes, the loyal subjects posted their probably final, for now anyway, for the wave, render 360 of their upcoming mask line. And this time it was the Rhino that got in on the action. We got to see in both modes, of course, and all of the different features from that initial render. What's interesting is there was a version that showed up in, I want to say it was like a magazine. It might have been like Toy. What's it called, Pat? What's the new one? The new magazine. I've completely forgot what it's called now. You know what I'm talking
I don't. What?
It's like the new kind of like toy magazine that you can order, and I've completely blanked on what it was called. Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
there's a physical toy magazine that you can subscribe to, and it was like it came out, like, I think it's been out
Toy
for
collector?
Yes, Toy Collector. Thank you. I think it showed
With
up
an
in Toy.
R? No OR at the end, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. And basically, they had a Rhino image in that magazine that had lots of other things going on. Like, it had a blast effect on the helmet. It had a little winch on the back that was kind of coming out, kind of near the on that little kind of removable section at the
Oh,
back.
that's right. I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
But this render doesn't really show those off. So I wonder if this is like, sort of like a base version of this. And then what we saw in that magazine was the sort of rumored, I say rumored, it's kind of, the listing came out, didn't it, for an SDCC Chrome version of the Rhino. Maybe those elements come with that version. I don't know. But we don't really see those on these renders. But it's still cool to see this vehicle, isn't it, in its kind of full form.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the way that it looks. I was thinking a lot about the figures and the fact that they are a lot more like their cartoon versions.
Yeah.
And I love the additional articulation. Personally, I think I like the style of the old figures, but then it occurred to me that the old figures are actually, they're still pretty cheap.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you can get those relatively easily. So I think that maybe making an opportunity to get like a vehicle with some new features that is going to be in good condition, and then I could just pop in. I mean, my mask collection of figures is almost done, but not my vehicles.
Right.
So yeah, these are. I'm hoping that I get tempted by walking into a store and having one in hand, and just not being willing to walk out without it.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? I haven't
It
been
is.
into a
Yeah.
store in ages for that kind of stuff, and actually been successful. But yeah, this is really cool. We get to see, from, like, again, like, all the features in one go. Everything looks very much like the original.
Mhm.
I think you're only really going to see a lot of, like, differences and very slight detail changes when you compare the two next to each other, which I think hopefully will happen at some point. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. Sorry, there's a lot of you kind of joining. I hope everyone's having a good weekend already. Saturday, enjoy it. Yeah, so that is effectively the render. This is the last one from the wave that we're going to see. We're not going to see any more, I don't think, from this particular wave of vehicles and figures, obviously, because they've all been done. But do you foresee this, Pat? Just kind of like put your kind of like fortune teller hat on here a little bit. Do you foresee this line doing well, and do you see it doing well enough to get into multiple waves down the line?
Well, to be quite honest, some of the stuff I've wondered how they're managing to do all of this. Because whenever you first showed us that there's going to be, the mask vehicles, I thought, well, those are going to be cool, but there's no way they're packing in all those features and all those springs and all that.
Right.
And then, it is. So I was kind of surprised that they can in this era get something that requires that much construction, that many, like that high of a parts count, all the paint that it takes,
Deco apps, yeah,
the apps,
absolutely.
yeah, it's a lot going into these vehicles. So I don't know what kind of margin they're going to be able to enjoy on the sale of these. But they've gotten, like we talked last week, they've gotten Gem and some other things into Walmart. So maybe they'll actually be able to sell these in large enough quantity to make it worth going into a second wave. And people are talking about them a lot, so I think that that's a plus.
Yeah.
There are some really excellent vehicles that, I mean, this is a great first wave, great choices for a first wave as well. But there are some additional really good mask vehicles.
Yeah.
Way more of them than would have fit in one wave anyway.
Yeah.
But definitely some hot ones that they could still do in the future.
I could see for like a second wave, I could see them doing like a similar lineup where you have, I don't know, like say, for example, we've got Condor in this one, maybe we get Piranha in the next one to kind of like mirror that sort of wave. And then, you've got, say for like the equivalent of, what was the Thunderhawk, you could maybe have Gator or you could have Jackhammer. Or maybe Jackhammer could be the equivalent of Switchblade. And then for Rhino, maybe Outlaw or something like that. But I could see,
Okay.
but you've also got like, oh god, I'm blanking on that. Is it Hurricane? The
Chevy?
teal, yeah, the
Yeah,
Chevy, the teal Chevy with the flames on
Hurricane,
it.
yeah.
Oh god, that thing, like that would be dope. In a second wave, Shark would be amazing to get done. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be brilliant for wave
the
2.
one thing I want to see. Absolutely. They will have my money really fast if they do that.
I could see that one being like the far and away the best seller, so that people could actually complete some collection kind of displays and stuff like that.
I would also say the Raven,
Yeah.
Calhoun Burns, that's potentially the best toy in the line, if you ask me. Like,
oh, that's
if
a
I
big
was,
shout. I like
it
it though.
is,
I like it.
it is, but it packs so much into a small space.
Yeah,
It really
definitely.
does.
I think I love Hurricane because of how it looks, but in terms of like all of the features and stuff, I know what you're saying. I think that Raven's pretty dope. Calhoun Burns is a pretty interesting figure as well. I do like that figure too. This is going to be this is going to be really controversial, Pat. But I'm a massive fan of the slingshot, as in the caravan with a glider inside it.
That constantly had the sides falling off.
Yeah,
Whenever I
yeah.
would play with it as a kid.
And when I say fan, I mean I love the fact that they went and did that. I love the fact that they went and did literally a camper van with a glider inside of it. I just think it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And the figure is Ace, isn't it? Is it Ace Riker?
Yeah.
I love that the sculpt on that figure is so good. Like, you've got the kind of the jacket and everything, and the helmet's really cool. I know I'm a fan of that figure, but I'm a bigger fan of the fact that they had the cojones to do slingshot and go and be like, there you go, kids, enjoy this camper van. Micro Machines did it, so why can't we? Is all I'm going to say on that one.
Yeah, that is true. It is just a camper van that pops open. I don't know if it's something that in universe they're supposed to be able to also drive, or if they have to get inside the glider and close up
it.
and then just be a really good driver on the road.
It's really funny that you mention the almost automatic door opening, permanent door opening mechanism, because mine was the same. Like, it would just be like every now and again, randomly, it would just be like thump, and I'd be like, oh, okay, and then I'd close it carefully, and then eventually it was just, no, mate, it doesn't close anymore. It's just permanently open. We call that a minivan here in the States, Chris. Lol, says Jedi Ben. Whatever.
Yeah,
potato,
probably is
potato.
more of a minivan, but big. I don't know what he does whenever he gets like to a store or a gas station.
He has to get out of the plane and then get out of the car. It's like a double whammy. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, Mum, hello. Mum's in the chat. How you doing, Mum? She can't wait to meet Annie. and I can't wait for you to meet her as well, Mum. Shout out to Mum in the chat and Dad. Hope you're well in the UK.
Hello.
Hello. Pat says hi as well. So anyway, that is the lore subjects. That is Mask and the Rhino render. We will, obviously we'll look forward to seeing more of these when hopefully another wave gets announced eventually. Obviously we've got to get these in stores first, haven't we? Let's face it, or at least close to being distributed.
I would imagine, yeah, we will start to see the fan reviews and everything first.
Absolutely.
Before we see more, yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Next up then, and I believe we're going into what are we going into? Are we going into Gridiron?
Gridiron.
Next? Oh, this is a belter. Let's
It
do
is.
it. Welcome to the Gridiron Studios Phalanx. This thing is unreal. So they have revealed their latest 1/12 scale. I'm calling it a monster vehicle because that's what it is. This thing is huge. It is a phalanx. It's called the Phalanx. It carries troops. It's got armaments on it. It's got tons of different doors and features and all sorts of stuff. This thing is nuts. So Pat, what do you feel? What are your feelings towards this? Because I know obviously this is like classified scale. This is not something necessarily in your wheelhouse as such, but you've got to respect the game here, right?
Oh, this thing is huge. I'm impressed that they can do something this big. And I expect to see it. Like, I do expect people to be excited about and buy this. Like the photography community, this is almost like a perfect thing to fill a background, whether or not it's the backdrop that your figures are directly in front of.
It'll fill it.
Fills the camera. Or if you are just doing like a wide shot, it's definitely large enough that you can put it somewhere pretty far away and it's not going to get lost. It'll be clear that it's back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is big. I'm surprised.
What would you like? I look at this and I sort of maybe at a stretch see the APC. Like it's like a smaller version of an APC, as much as any equivalent to a GI Joe vehicle. But this is one of those things where, I can't see this being an issue from a IP infringement sort of capacity. This is very much a like on its own sort of thing.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just want to, I just can't say enough good things about it. This is incredible. And when I saw this, they were kind of teasing little bits and pieces about it through the week. But then I think it was shout out to Chris D'Amato, I think it was, who sent me a link basically to this, and I was just like, oh wow, that thing is incredible. So thank you, Chris, for sending me the link initially when it was revealed fully. With all the images and everything, I was just like, this thing is unreal. So yeah, and obviously lots more images to kind of show you. We've got these kind of two basic images showing you like the full extent size of this vehicle, but then you start seeing the figures next to it, and you kind of I don't think you can really grasp the size of something like this, because you look at these figures and they kind of they're classified figures, but it doesn't compute in my head.
I'm trying to compare it in my head to like the Thunderclap.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's just, I think this is going to be a monster in terms of like the kind of space it takes up on your shelf or display. Wow. But the details inside it are really nice. You've got that kind of the driver's position with all of the different kind of, all the different kind of like computer setup, the dials and everything, the joystick, the seating. Then you've got like a kind of troop kind of carrier in the back. You've got this like gunner position with like the kind of the tops and everything. It's sort of like, for me, it's sort of like a mixture between an APC and a Warthog in a sense. It's like the kind of like what I would expect the size of a Warthog to be in classified scale, but the kind of more closely resembles something like an APC. But yeah, this thing is insane. Here's a shot of all the figures in the back, and they do not look cramped or anything here, do they, mate?
No. So this is definitely wider than the his tank. That's for sure.
Yeah, this thing is this would be, I think, the biggest vehicle in the sort of, I say like retail space, because obviously you can buy you can buy sort of like 3D prints of big things. Like I think someone's done like terradromes, and they've done all
Yeah.
sorts of crazy stuff, classified scale, that you can kind of 3D print yourself and build. But in terms of like a sort of like company retail situation, this is going to be the biggest 112 vehicle, isn't it? For
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And
someone in the
impressive. I'm actually looking at the back and wondering if you can buy lighting to put in there.
yeah, yeah. I didn't actually see if there was lighting involved. Actually, let me just see, because obviously
I
I've got
assume
the.
that there's not, or that this is going to be. That's the other thing with Gridiron, is that this is probably like the base version.
I forgot about that. There's going to be all those different decos of it. There's going to be the shadow phalanx. There's going to be the Arctic phalanx with all that stuff. Yeah, do you expect that?
Yeah, well, yeah, but if you go like maybe 4 images up, there's like that entire back area above where we're looking now. Like,
That
no, it's three, a few more images up of it
gone
from
too
the
far?
outside. Up there. Yeah, I don't know if it's up. Is there? It is.
That
Do you see
one.
how like the back rectangle above where the troop transport area is?
Yeah.
It looks like that whole rectangle is removable. So like I could see an entire missile rack or large things being added to the back end of this thing,
There you go.
or even something to the middle. Like I'm not saying it's happening. I have no idea, but knowing Gridiron, if you buy this thing, they're probably going to be supporting your fun with it for a little while.
One of these shots I don't think we've got on there is this one that shows you that removable
Oh, it
section.
is removable. Okay.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
spot on there, Pat, in
And
noticing
that's going to
that.
help you get the figure situated the way that you want. So it makes sense
Absolutely.
for it to be removable for that purpose. But just the fact that it's removable, I don't know. It means to me that I would expect something somewhere, and I would expect them to surprise me, because that always happens as well. Any of the Gridiron stuff that we've seen so far, their add-ons have not been what I've necessarily assumed they would be.
Jedi Ben says, so much room for activities. Yeah, you can get a bunk bed in there, mate, I reckon. Mark said it will be in all the Hound color variants, says Chris G. So we're going to get Shadow, we're going to get Arctic, we're going to get Desert. We're going to have a lot of talk. We're going to have a lot of Gridiron features, I think, in the next couple of weeks on this one, mate.
They've had to have been hard at work on this for a long time. I don't know how they've had time for anything else.
I know. The interior looks so good as well, even down to like the kind of metallic kind of paneling floor they've got in there, that kind of classic, like that kind of pattern that you get on that kind of metallic flooring. I think that's so dope. The gun rack's really cool.
Yep.
It's so nice. This thing's beautiful. And it looks like you've got like, yeah, those fold down sections there. I guess, is that seating or bench seating maybe
I
that
think
folds
so.
down? Like to kind of like create almost
Oh,
like a U shape. Do you see what I mean? Because they're like longer at the back.
yeah, I do see that.
Maybe they're just tables to kind of show off like standing next to a table or something. I don't know. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you know what those longer sections are, if it's just more seating or if it's like a table or something, because it looks really cool. The whole thing looks insane. And I am very much a fan of what they're doing here.
Yeah. I like the
Yeah.
fact that underneath the hatches has so much detail on the underside, so that when they're open, you're looking at detail.
Yeah, like there's it's not like, yeah, exactly. It's not like you open something and it's just flat. Like there's so much going on. Cal says gunner stand or seats. Oh yeah, so they can kind of like pop up out of the top.
Oh, yeah,
That
so that
makes a
they
lot of
can pop
sense.
that down and stand on it. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm blown away by this, honestly. I this might even be one of those things where I'm like, oh, I might need this. The one thing I can see being a little bit of a sticking point for a lot of people, and myself included, not a sticking point, but like a problem that is really of my own doing, is the fact that it's $399.99. This thing, I mean, you're getting what you pay for, let's face it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's pretty high. And I'm not blaming Gridiron for that. what I would suggest for myself is that it might be a little bit out of my, you know, affordability range, shall we say. But that doesn't mean that I can't look at it and go, this is incredible. CC Russell says Gridiron needs a payment plan. That actually wouldn't be a bad shout.
Yeah.
Figure Six Pack also says it could be mobile triage. Those little things that come down could be mobile triage for medical guys, which is actually pretty cool idea as well. Yeah, anyway, yeah, and like I said, I don't think it should be cheaper. I don't think it should be more expensive. I'm just saying that it might be out of my affordability bracket. And Pat, I know this is obviously not something like given the perfect conditions, would you pick something up like this, or is this a little bit out of your scale bracket?
It's a little bit out of my spending, not a little bit, you know, that's a lot to buy. But I do think that for anyone excited about it, I think that you're going to enjoy. I do think there's a lot of bang for your buck, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
I think that there's a lot here for that $400. But for me, since I'm not as into 6-inch figures, also just thinking about the storage, because that's been an increasing issue for me.
Yeah.
Storing things and finding a spot for things. But I really hope this goes over well, because they're definitely taking on something large, and it looks like they've done a great job.
I just hope they include patches in with it. Anyway, right, that is the Phalanx. Incredible stuff. And massive shout out to Gridiron Studios for producing something so unbelievably ridiculous that I don't think any of us ever dreamed that would be a thing. But it is, and it's incredible. So yeah, congrats. Next up then, we have a little bit of an update for Joe Fest exclusives, courtesy of Delta 17. Out to Ken and Delta 17, but he reached out and said that they were doing these cool little exclusives, and I was like, yeah, we'll do a feature because these look really awesome. So we have a number of different exclusives kind of popping up for Joe Fest, including this new 2-pack, this kind of desert 2-pack, and the Hailstorm 1.5 version 1.5 in both blue and grey as well, which is really cool too. And also there'll be a weapons pack we'll talk about as well in a second. But first, Pat, let's look at because this is in terms of wheelhouses, pun intended, from previously. This is in it, isn't it? Like kind of O-ring sort of.
Oh yeah. No, I have a full set so far of what they've released.
I've got a few of these figures, and they are really cool. And thanks to Ken for sending me those. In fact, they're actually right here, I think. But I'm not gonna start. Hang on, maybe I can reach it. Can I reach it? No.
Yeah, mine are in the other room.
Right behind me.
I'd pull some out.
But they're really cool from what I've had so far, and these are really nice. I like these very cool figures here.
Yeah, they've chosen some good ones to redeco. I like the fact that the redecos seem to be a thing that they're doing for special stuff. It's not like we got an entire wave all at once, but they're doing something for fun. And absolutely. I really liked. I don't know which one of these figures I liked better. I liked aspects of both of them quite a lot. The one on the left, which I think is the Delta Trooper.
Yeah.
He's Delta Trooper repainted. I don't know.
Delta Squad now. He's Delta Squad in this one, I think.
Okay. Maybe he's Delta Squad before, and I just got it wrong. Yeah, he's Delta Squad.
Yeah,
that was his name. The stuff, the way that it fits on his backpack is all really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and the gas mask like pops onto his face. That's a lot of fun. But I liked the helmet that is on the guy on the right. The
Thunder Battalion. Yeah,
is it still Thunder Battalion for the repaint?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I liked his helmet a lot.
They're really cool, aren't they? I think Thunder Battalion's my favorite out of the two figures. I think like the ski mask is really cool, and then when you kind of put all the gear together, there's just some really, I don't know, they're very awesome figures. And yeah, really liking these a lot. And again, like some really cool, nice card art as well. I really like what Delta 17 are doing. And this now, a couple of things. Let me explain. I've got all the information here. The MSRP for the 2-pack is $45. They will debut at Joe Fest. That's June 20th to the 22nd. And they will be available for the public ordering by June the 30th, or even possibly sooner. So basically following the show, they'll be available to the public anytime up to June the 30th. I hope that makes sense to everyone there. And then on top of that, they've already revealed here's a really good close-up of the 2 figures. I should have finished on this one, Kitty said.
Yeah.
But this shows you a really good close-ups of these 2. Yeah, you're right, Pat. I really love the storage kind of gear and all that kind of stuff, that they've got. I think that the figures go up in my estimation when you can fit all the gear on them.
They feel nice too. If you haven't had one in hand, when you pick them up, like sometimes O-ring figures feel a little too light. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but these ones don't. They feel really nice in hand.
This Snake Eyes is very light, and this, in fact, the Super 7 O-rings are quite light, aren't they? Very, very airy feeling. Yeah, so yes, they will be available online, like I said, following the show, basically by June the 30th or sooner. So yeah, on top of that amazing stuff, we have the Hailstorm. Now, this has already been revealed and publicly. I mean, they've all been revealed publicly, but this was revealed prior to yesterday's reveal. But they will debut at Joe Fest alongside the 2-pack. And they have a grey and blue version of this little dude. This is kind of crazy, actually. I quite like these. Again, very kind of, they sort of remind me a little bit of RoboForce. I think the color on that one is reminding me of, I think it's Cruel, was the one I had as a kid, the RoboForce. That was purple and black with that red in it as well. And it kind of giving me RoboForce vibes a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that they were, I don't know if it was first officially revealed. The first time I saw them was last year at Joe Fest. And I think that they had said last year that they would have them next year, which is this year. And then that's happening.
Perfect.
So,
I will say as well, Pat, you've just reminded me, just in case anyone asks as well in the comments, they've already arrived stateside. So all the 2-packs, all the exclusives and everything, they're already in country. So there'll be no issues. What you can either get them live at the show at Joe Fest on the 20th to the 22nd, or like I said, they'll be online and they'll be ready to order rather than pre-order. So yeah, there you go. Shades of Cyberdyne from Terminator, a little bit.
Did they say what the price was on the Hailstorm?
They did not, actually. But someone in the comments might know. So if you know, guys, sorry, that's the one bit of information I do not have.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I should have asked Ken, actually. So my apologies to Ken on that one. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out, and there'll be a way to find out. You can probably find out on Delta 17's page, actually. In fact, let me have a look while I knock all of my O-ring figures over. Let me just have a quick butcher's, because it might say on there. I wouldn't be surprised if
I'm curious to see if they're going to do anything else in this larger robotic style. Like if there's anything else coming that they have planned.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Rexship says people are saying $40, and I'm just looking now, and I think that's correct.
That sounds about that's about what I was expecting.
Yeah,
I definitely wasn't expecting them to be the same price as the O-ring figures. I was expecting it to be more.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. 40 for these guys. Oh, you'll see them that here, like some great images of them as well. And then of course we have the packaging too. So you get kind of to see like exactly what you're going to be getting in that sense. Now, the other thing I will add is that there's also a $5 weapons pack that's going to be available. Same kind of situation again at the show, and then of course online after the fact, I believe. And that's the weapons pack right there. So you get all those kind of cool rifles, a sniper rifle, and there's all sorts of crazy cool stuff in there, actually. Do you get, I mean, again, being a collector of this sort of scale, Pat, are accessory packs sort of like important for your collecting, or is it like kind of like a bit of a not a necessity most of the time?
I think that they are great for a toy line to do. Because sometimes whenever you're moving things around, you just wish that you had that one extra accessory to have the same accessory with a different figure.
Yeah.
Or two of them for the same figure. So I'm pretty sure that I think that it was Steve that said that that these were something that he kept on hearing people asking for.
Yeah.
And so he just decided to go ahead and make them available. I think it's cool. I think that it's kind of a sample of what you get with figures. And yeah, I think that it's a good idea. I'll probably buy it just to have the stuff complete.
Completist.
I mean, it's $5. It's not going to
Yeah.
break me to have this extra thing. I would like to see maybe some different colors on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
If you're doing an accessory pack, but I don't know how they ran them. I don't know if they ran them along with if they're just more of the ones that come inside the.
This feels like a little bit of a like a way to get like a few more accessories done, and a cheaper price point too, just cranking them out like a factory sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think it's mostly because people asked for them.
True. There's also a 10% discount when buying 3 or more items at the booth for Joe Fest as well, so you can get them even cheaper if you're at the show. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So massive shout out to Ken and Delta 17. If you're going to Joe Fest, obviously you can check them out there at the show. Pat, are you going to Joe Fest?
I'm planning. Yes. I bought my plane ticket, so I'll be crushed if I don't. It's been stressful getting everything ready to go, though. I've not had an easy 5 months.
Life sucks a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, go and check out Pat at Joe Fest. He'll be our roving reporter. I personally won't be there, unfortunately, but you can go check out Pat and go tell him how much you love the Full Force, and how much you love Pat more than me, please. Anyway, that's Delta 17 exclusives and all that cool stuff. Next up, then, we'll get into the classified stuff before we have to call it a day. And there's been a lot of classified stuff, to say the least. So we'll start with whatever the first thing is to talk about. I think it's the Firefighter. Yes, thanks to JB, we have some in-hand images of the Legacy Firefighter. And also, a few eagle-eyed people noticed a giant X-30 Conquest in the background, but we'll address that elephant in the room after we've talked about the Legacy Firefighter. But this is really cool. I've got to say, I am very impressed with this particular figure, and I'm very excited to get this one. The gear that they come with is insane. Now, on the little news burst video I did, I pointed out that not all of the accessories are on show here. Now, it's very well, this is a pre-production sample, I believe, that is on show, or kind of like a semi-production sample. So not all of the gear necessarily came with it. But like I said, he should also have, I think, 2 other smaller axes, a smaller hammer as well, in addition, the kind of like Halligan tool, which I didn't mention in the video, but is missing here as well. The goggles, like the separate goggles that go on as well, they're missing. And of course, the blanket isn't in shot either. But again, even without those, Pat, which is a large amount of accessories, it kind of looks crazy how much gear this guy comes with.
Yeah, that's a good point. That it still looks crazy, even with all that stuff not included. Is this the best one that they've done in this subset?
For me, and this is a good subset, by the way. Like the Action Soldier was really cool. The dive is really awesome, especially with all the extra gear he got ahead of, like, on top of what you got effectively with a repainted torpedo. You've got so much cool gear with these figures. The female sniper was actually, I was really enjoying, like the ghillie suit and everything. The halo jump is insane, but there's something about this one, and I think it's the kind of like civilian aspect of it. It's not military; it's kind of like a civilian thing. So you're kind of getting into, an exterior sort of thing, aren't you, with this one?
Yeah, but it's so in keeping with the 12-inch stuff that was coming out there in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Big time.
And, to do a Firefighter, I think is very right for G.I. Joe. Yeah,
there's a lot of fire to fight most of the time.
I kind of think that this one's going to sell quickly.
Oh,
like once it starts to hit shelves, it's not going to last.
Yeah, I can see this one being a hot seller. Yeah.
Yeah, Okay.
Do you want me to leave? I'll leave now. We're going to bring the show to a close there. Pat has I've just drained all the energy out of Pat with that terrible, terrible pun. Yeah, I think I do think this is going to be insane. And I personally, I might need a few of these just because, again, you get the two different head sculpts here, the different skin tones. And I'm kind of excited to start kind of putting lots of fire guys around certain like displays, maybe with barbecue. Maybe barbecue could lead this team.
That'd be fun. I would definitely see him working with them.
Absolutely.
I kind of like that a lot, actually. Like, that was one of the things about the 80s Joes, that it started having a different flavor to it.
Yeah.
Whenever originally in 82, it was like this small team of the best of the best of the best. And then, as they added more and more of even of the same specialty, it just became like, well, it's huge, and they have their own aircraft carrier as well as their own space shuttle. And it's like, this is not the same as it was.
Budget's gone through the roof here with this
So
tiny, small team. Yeah.
I like the idea of making figures that are part of the good guys, but they're not necessarily on the G.I. Joe team. They don't have to be.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm definitely having barbecue and a bunch of these guys in like a display, because I think that'd be so much fun. Obviously, it's a little bit weird sticking Blowtorch in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He
starts them in practice.
He starts them. We put them out. We tried it the other way, but it didn't work. Sorry, that was me being an idiot. Secret Galaxy in the chat. Shout out to Dan Larson in the house. Sorry, we're gonna have to highlight this one. What are you saying? Dan says, I would love an entire line of real world equivalents. Like when Gung Ho got his dress blues in the vintage line, you were like, oh yeah, he's a Marine. This is a great real world barbecue. Totally agree with what you're saying there, Dan. Incredibly. Thank you very much for the chat, bud, as well. Very much appreciated. Do you agree with that, Pat?
Dress blues would be a good idea too, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Be a need for a ton of gear with that one, but it would be a good one for them to do, right?
Just have lots of different colored slacks that he could come with.
Well, I guess you could include like a flag and some other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that would be a nice homage with the sort of Gung Ho version, whatever it was, who came with a flag as well,
right?
In sort of like in a fun way too. Blitz wants a tactical mailman. Which I love the thought of that. That's genius. But thank you, Dan. Much appreciated for the chat. And I do agree with you. I think, having Dress Blues Gung Ho would be phenomenal. Or even just a Dress Blues legacy figure. And then just stick a Gung Ho head on it, basically.
Well, there's a lot of they could probably fill that package with a bunch of diorama pieces that would be useful.
Yeah, definitely. I agree wholeheartedly with that one. You could always do, I'm not sure how this would go down, but you could always do a Dress Blues Gung Ho, specifically Gung Ho, in a retail wave of 4.
Right, yeah.
Keep the accessory count down, I guess, but it does make sense that you do like a sort of legacy version of that. It kind of makes sense as well. There's lots of options there. I guess.
Once you've done Gung Ho, then you could do the legacy version and just and have the cost savings of having done both.
Vice versa, yeah. The only thing is, you'd have to make the body massive for Gung Ho, wouldn't you?
Probably, yeah.
You'd have to do it because it would look weird. When he dresses up, he loses about 50 pounds in weight.
But maybe then there's an advantage of not using the same sculpt, because then you can have different body sizes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we already have the swappable heads. You could have maybe the swappable, since you'd have swappable heads in that package, buy a few extra Gung Hos and then just have a bunch of Marines.
Absolutely. I'd love to see, just keep them coming. Like, it's not like we get loads of legacy figures every year. It's like 2 a year, basically, by the current kind of rate. So I'm happy to just have whatever they want to do in the legacy line, just throw it my way and I'll be lapping it up, because I'm loving the thought. I know a lot of people are talking about they're wanting like SWAT, like tactical police unit and stuff, and I think that would make a lot of sense. And in fact, I think a lot of people think that'll be the next one. So I could definitely see that happening. But there's a lot of there's a lot of amazing options with this, especially now that we've broken into the kind of more civilian sort of thing, kind of out the military and into some other kind of different forces and what have you. So yeah. Mailman next. What do you want to see in the comments, guys? Let us know what you'd like to see in the legacy line, please and thank you. And I'll call out a few of them later on. Now, there was this is another. I just want to go through some of the shots that we have left, but this is the shot that a lot of people were talking about when we posted these images, or when JB posted these images and we shared them. There is a massive X30 Conquest in the background there, Pat, and I, for one, think that would be a really cool one for them to do as a. No, I don't know. You might even be able to get away with that not being a Haslab.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you could get the wings to pop on,
yeah,
just get into a smaller box, you probably could.
I think you could get away with that. Take the nose section could pop off as well, like the was it the Sky Striker that did that when they
it was the 30th Sky Striker.
The 30th one, yeah.
Once you put it on, you weren't getting it back off.
I'm telling you now, though, that was one of the most genius packaging jobs ever. I don't think
it was.
You could I didn't when I looked at that box, I'm like, there's no way there's a Sky Striker in here.
Or they scaled it down a little bit, but nope.
Yeah. No, it's that's what I thought. And then I open it up and I put it together. I'm like, oh, how does that go in there? It almost doesn't feel like it didn't even have the depth of the box either.
And I first pulled it out and I didn't want to assemble it right away. So I tried putting it back and it was like, nope, I can't figure this out.
How did they do this? What magic is happening here? Yeah, so I think seeing this in the background, and this is just a 3D printed, I say just, it's a beautiful piece of custom work.
Yeah.
But it is a project that JB is doing, and it is in process of doing, and it's 3D printed. It's incredible. But I'm looking at it from if you look at it from just a purely GI Joe classified perspective, I definitely think this could be done. I definitely think an X30 Conquest could be done on a small, kind of like a smaller than a Haslab scale situation. So that just makes me excited to think that we might actually get something like that in the future. But yeah, it's not official. Don't worry, guys. It's not an official X30 Conquest, but it is very, very cool. Now, a lot of you have been throwing in some ideas for what they want to see in the Legacy line. Tim says Legacy Clowns. You up for that?
Legacy Clowns?
It's tongue in cheek, clearly.
I'm sure.
But would you be down for that, Pat?
Well, you know what? If somebody mocks that up, I would definitely be down for looking at what their idea of like the most iconic clown pieces are that are necessary to have in that package. Like,
oh my goodness! And
what shoes and what wigs it comes with.
You could get like a bunch, like a different versions that you could make in the box, but the box could be like a clown car, so that it all fits in the clown car.
And you're going to have to hire the Sky Striker person to figure out how they all.
How are we going to fit this in here exactly? And then you open it, and the Sky Striker's in there, and you're like, "What's going on with this magic?" Andrew Davis has given probably one of the best real world options I've ever seen in my life for the Legacy. Good shot here, Andrew. This is a beauty. If we're making real world Joes, we need a gym teacher with a bag full of sports balls and safety cones. We already got a whistle with Sarge, right? Absolutely. And I'm there with you. I think that'd be brilliant. Really short shorts as well. That's what I'm thinking 70s proper gym teacher. I think that'd be amazing. Archangel Michael Mars says Legacy bell ringing mall Santa. Are these doing anything for you, Pat?
No. There's a down below. Who is it that said it's Leon Jarmo says astronauts. You know that's gonna that would be one for me.
Could you imagine them doing that whole sort of like payload thing that we like? So if you go back to a couple of monthlies back, we did a monthly episode, and Pat, I think you put forward payload as an option on one of your deluxes.
That's one I would like to see happen.
And we were talking about having like an arm or like a like a thing that kind of like held it upright in like a stand, so that you could have the kind of the kind of like what do you call it? The vehicle, like the outside the spaceship kind of
the
thruster backpack.
spacewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be an incredible legacy figure, wouldn't it? I mean, there's so many, like the accessories would be off the scale.
Yeah, there are a ton of things that you could do. I don't really think that they do the spacewalk anymore, though, do they?
Well, it can just be like a legacy homage, couldn't it, to like
Right.
the old style astronaut. And then that you never know, that could then like obviously bleed into some sort of Star Brigade stuff as well. You know, you could mix and match some bits and pieces here and there, and accessories could get reused and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah. So what do we have? We have the legacy clown astronauts, and
We've got astronauts, clowns, gym teachers, mall Santa, a hot dog stand, says Tim. That'd be amazing. Pizza delivery driver, says Benedict. Just do a legacy armed services dress pack, all branches, says Jedi Ben. That's a good idea, actually. Chris G says medical. That's a good shout, actually. I think that it would be cool because obviously we've got Doc.
yeah,
I think Lifeline can't be too far away in the future. And with those two, I think they need like a support crew. And I think, yeah, like it's like
paramedics.
Yeah, EMTs would be phenomenal,
EMTs,
wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Legacy lawnmower service guys to go with Pathfinder. Wreck ship. That is genius. I like that very much. Para educator with a classroom diorama, says Stanley. I like that one too. Sean says legacy veteran, full dad bod in New Balance, running a smoker. I like some of these tongue-in-cheek ones, actually. Rachel says dress uniform, Navy, Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, etc. Crusader Knight, says Benedict. We're going back a bit there, but that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Mall security, Coast Guard, maritime sailor. These are all great shouts, guys. I like them a lot. Yeah, a lot of people talking clowns. Okay, that's pretty much everything. Taxi driver from Cropstar as well there. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Right then, that is the Legacy Firefighter and a little bit of a custom X30 Conquest as well. Thank you again to JB for sharing those images. And yeah, look forward to getting that one in hand.
And shout out if it's the same JB that I used to meet up with sometimes at like dinner during the 25th era. I'm not sure if it's the same JB because that could just be a common.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's just but then if it is, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Small world. Well, not in our fandom. It's only like 12 people in it. Anyway. Let's move on from the Legacy Firefighter. We've got more classified news to get into, so let's do it. This one got the fandom buzzing. Yes, the patches are on their way, guys. Yeah, because no one cares about the rest of it. It's just about the patches, isn't it? The Haslab Rattler is shipping soon, guys, and we got basically Hasbro Pulse sent out emails to all of the backers of the Haslab explaining that it would be shipping soon, and this is what they stated. To ensure smooth sell, basically they want everyone to get their shipping kind of addresses up to date in the system, and then lo and behold, when you went to change it or had to update it, it wouldn't let you. So you might have to call them in that sense, guys. So yeah, like just make sure that's a thing. Like if you check it and try and change it and it doesn't work, you might have to call them. That needs to be updated by June the 13th, 2025. So I'm impressed actually at how quick these are coming in.
I am as well. Yeah, is this the fastest? Other people are tracking the Haslabs, but this has to feel like one of the fastest ones to me.
100% it has to be. His tank was like in the fall from when it was revealed. This was revealed at SDCC, so it would only have been like just under a year. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, I think some of the other ones have been over a year, haven't they?
Oh yeah, I think the his tank was a little bit, but again, I think it was assumed that was going to be the case anyway. Dragonfly got that little delay on it, which pushed it later into the year, but we got it before Christmas, I believe. So yeah, but you're right. This feels like the quickest one so far, which is I'm both excited, but also, you know, I'm hoping that they haven't rushed anything here. I doubt they have.
It could just be that they've, you know, after having done several of these with shipping giant things to individual people, that they've just figured out the logistics and the planning stages as well, and shortened that window, because that's one of the things they've been hearing a lot, I'm sure, because I've seen a lot of people being like, when is this thing going to ship? When am I going to get it? So they probably, I would imagine, have just been addressing that. So hopefully this is the start of a new trend with Haslabs.
Big time, because there is that feeling. I do like the fact that you kind of like out of sight, out of mind a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you know, you start getting the updates that coming in, like, oh, and you get excited again. But yeah, having that time minimized really does help with that sort of excitement level kind of being kept going. Sorry, mate, I know I'm boring.
No, I'm sorry to be yawning.
I'm kidding.
I'm so tired.
I know, mate. White does make a very good point here. They do have one less figure to manipulate, which is a very good point there.
Yeah.
But what you're failing to think there, White, is all of the construction that goes into those patches. So anyway, I'm just joking, of course. But yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point. Was the painted model shown sooner with this one? Yes, Jeffrey. I believe it was shown almost immediately. The painted model was shown almost immediately, I believe.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to cut down on the time too, is to be more ahead of it.
I'm actually
but more risky too.
It was revealed as the painted model at SDCC.
I remember seeing, I think it was the renders.
Yeah,
I don't remember the painted model, but I definitely remember the renders in color.
Yeah. So I believe we got that really early.
I think you're right, though. I think that they did show the painted model almost right away.
Yeah, it was in that beautiful display case, wasn't it, for SDCC?
You know, part of that could also be that G.I. Joe's been so successful as a Haslab that they may be less scared about taking it further along before showing it.
That's a really good point, actually, as well. That is a very good point. Now, more information in the email, obviously. One of the things was that they're going to be shipping basically late June for US and Canada, late June for Asia, and July for UK and EU. They're also going to be shipping as soon as they come in batches. So they're literally going to be like getting them out. So people will have them before other people. It's not going to be like a tight kind of like distribution pattern where like everyone will have it in hand within, say, a week or 2 weeks. It's probably going to be spread out a little bit more on that one. But I think the fact this is coming in so soon, I don't really have a problem with that. If people are getting it before me, so be it. I don't care. I still don't have. There's a bunch of figures I don't have, and I keep seeing people enjoying them. But I think this is crazy. I think this is going to be crazy, honestly. And I'm really excited for this to be coming in. And I think that's pretty much everything. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's everything. So check.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, we got to talk about YoJoe June.
Well, I mean, as in for the Rattler.
For the Rattler. Okay.
Just to remind you guys.
I thought you meant like for the day. It's like
no, we
still have a lot to talk about.
We got a little bit to get into. So I just wanted to remind you guys of what you're going to get with the Rattler. All of that, basically.
Yes.
And also patches.
Patches aren't shown, though, are they?
Yeah, also patches. I'm joking about the patches a lot, but then I forgot to put them in here. They're the 3 figures as well: Wild Weasel, Baroness, and of course the Rattler Gunner. Excited is not the word. I get so I don't know. I'm just too much. Anyway, YoJoe June, the fan stream has been announced, which is what Pat was talking about just then. And we have a bunch of bits and pieces to really get into here. One, of course, is that the Pulse fan stream will be on the YouTube channel on the 4th of June at 11 a.m. So tune in for that one. And I'll be going live later that day to react to all of the cool stuff that's been on show. And yeah, we're excited to see what we're going to be getting for this YoJoe June. There's obviously lots of different things. We'll talk about it in a second. But one of the things we can probably expect to see, Pat, is Budo. His render reveal happened yesterday, day before yesterday, right? Thursday?
Maybe. I've lost track of all time.
No, it was Friday.
Awake and asleep and busy.
Same.
And
I was driving all day, so I can't remember what day it was on. I think it was Thursday, and then I did it Thursday night, and then Friday. Yeah, it's Saturday now. It was Thursday. I've gone mad. Anyway, so this was a real awesome surprise. Now we did know that Budo was coming, and we do have the listing for him, of course, as well, which we'll talk about in a second. But this one, mate, I've always talked, because Budo was one that I've talked about and one that I wanted as a deluxe figure. I think like an exclusive we were talking about, weren't we? Like back on the monthlies. And one of the things I wanted them to do was to kind of incorporate multiple versions of him. And they've done that.
Mhm.
They've done that
Yeah.
with this it's sort of like the same way they did with Tripwire.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely what we were hoping for from Budo, was multiple looks for him.
And my goodness, these looks are pretty cool, aren't they? Now we've got the first thing I want to point out is how I'm really happy with how these heads turned out. So we've got the kind of classic OG Budo style head on the left with that kind of top knot, which I'm really happy they did, by the way. And we've got the kind of that sort of retaliation homage a little bit with the kind of the goatee and everything. What are your thoughts on the heads?
Both look good. So it's two different options. Again, it looks like we're getting almost like two different figures packed into one.
Yeah, this will have to be a double.
Sometimes they've done the swappable hair thing on some of these heads. I don't think that's going to be possible on this one.
No, I think they've done the right thing of just giving us two different head sculpts really on this with the hair.
I agree,
Yeah.
but one has like the facial hair. So I wondered for a second, could they do something? I suppose maybe if like there's just a very flat head underneath the hair on the left,
Yeah,
it could plug on, but I'm not expecting that.
no, I'm not either. But again, if they do that, that'd be kind of cool. I'm very into this idea, though. I wanted them to kind of to do this. I've always wanted them to do with Budo, who is a absolute favorite of mine. That original Budo figure is one of my favorite from the vintage era. Like, I'm a huge version 2 Storm Shadow fan, but that Budo figure is so close to my heart. Like, the only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that the sword didn't unsheath.
Of
If you know,
course, yeah.
but
I always wanted the colors to be swapped on the what is it? One thing he has is red and one is silver, and and then Fun School did do that.
Yeah. So you got what you wanted. So chill out.
I did. Yeah.
But no, I love the design. I love the wackiness of it. The helmet was really cool. The backpack was really cool. Now, I mentioned backpack, but we don't have one with this, do we? Does that upset you a little bit?
It doesn't upset me. I think that having it sheath on his hip, would feel missing more than the backpack would. But
he does have a back sheath option for that long sword, I believe.
Okay.
On the left side. So I think that one that you're seeing on the left-hand side, that sheath, I believe that is a back-mounted sheath. And he also has one on his waist as well. And the other version has the 2 sword sheath on the belt. So you can probably have 2 swords going in the 2 sword sheath option, but then you can also have the long sword and another one of those swords on his waist as well. So he can kind of sort of like, you kind of mix and match with how you utilize the swords on that particular one. But yeah, the helmets are great as well, aren't they? Look how beautiful and ornate these bad boys are.
Those do look great, and totally different from one another, and different than the Retaliation Budo.
Slightly. It doesn't have the antlers, does it?
Right. It's not the antlers look.
I would like them to revisit antlers look though at some point.
Sure. That was an excellent figure. I love that figure. But we're still just doing samurai stuff that wasn't exactly the original Budo, but is worth doing. I like seeing all of it.
This is a good point from Leon, and this is something I mentioned when I talked about wanting Budo in that sort of like deluxe capacity. He should have a stand like to rest the armor on, and I think that would have been like the absolute chef's kiss with this if they'd have incorporated just a simple sort of like stand where the helmet sits on the top. Maybe it has a little bit sticking out the side where you can rest the secondary over the top of it as well, and then it just and maybe lock the shin guards to the bottom and the wrist guards on the ends of the, but that would have been absolute chef's kiss. But I understand that there's an element here of costing, and I kind of get why they haven't done that. But what I thought would have been really cool, you know how on the retaliation helmet with the antlers, I've seen it where those helmets with the antlers, like the traditional ones, are used to as a stand for the swords. You know how the swords like rest on stands sometimes?
Yes. Yeah.
I've seen them rest on those antlers before on helmets, and I thought, how cool would that have been? Like a, you know, like a stand within an accessory would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, amazing stuff. Does he come with a horse? No, RKW, I don't think he does, but that would be cool as well. Stanley says headset mic on that chin strap. I've only just noticed that.
I was just noticing it right before you said it.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah,
I love his sort of modernized samurai tactical option. I think he looks really cool like that. We've also got all the neck gear as well. So we've got like a kind of like a ripped kind of material acting as like a shamak or a scarf. You've got that sort of ceremonial neck piece, kind of like almost like armor to protect that kind of part of the body that's probably exposed with the armor. And then the sort of like straw neck piece as well. Lots of neck pieces going on here.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what combination I prefer. I don't think that I want the straw one, but I think that I like the armor that the figure is not wearing in the image.
Yeah. So this is the tactical version. This is kind of like the sort of Budo traditional figure, but like a slight update kind of version of that particular figure, which I think is really cool. I think he looks really awesome, and I think he's going to look so good with the rest of the kind of Arashikage team and all those kind of ninjas. I know he's samurai. I know the difference, but Larry puts Budo in with the team as well, so you know that's what happens. And then we have, this is the more traditional vibe as well. So this is the armor that you're enjoying the most?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely buying Budo. That's going to happen. I just don't know. I'm curious what I ended up assembling once I have gotten them out of the package.
I think it's great. I love the homage of the red on the retaliation figure that's kind of baked into this aspect as well. That's a really nice touch too. I think
it could even be the Ninja Commandos has that red on him as well. I think.
Ooh,
right in the middle of the figure.
Yeah. The one that they ended up releasing has got that red on it, right? The one that actually came out in Mortal Kombat that wasn't Budo, Shang Tsung.
He does for sure. Yeah, Shang Tsung does. But I thought Budo had just that. Yeah, he does have that red as well.
Tell you what, mate. Tell you what, a Budo Ninja Commando version for Classified would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would be. Yeah, there's a lot of Budo that they could do.
There's that International Heroes repaint as well with the teal and the orange.
Yep.
Please and thank you. Yeah, there's some shin guards. They're separate. But yeah, that looks really cool as well to kind of change it up. And then of course we have all the weapons. We've got the pistol, a Dusty's rifle. We've seen both of those before. I think that's Helix's semi-automatic pistol, I want to say. I could be wrong on that, but it's been seen before, I believe. And the swords have been seen before, I believe, as well. I think they're Storm Shadow swords. The two on the version 2 Storm Shadow, I believe. And then the long sword, I can't remember. Someone's going to have to fill that in for me. Maybe the ninja, the red ninja, or one of Snake Eye's many swords. I don't remember. I can't remember these things.
I don't remember. Yeah, I'm definitely losing track of all the weapons that are in the line.
But it looks really awesome. I'm going to go back to this image here, which I did not plan for when I was putting these images together. I think the shin guards are the last thing, aren't they? Yeah. Maybe not, actually. No, the weapons were the last thing. So yeah, all in all, I think he looks absolutely phenomenal. I think personally, I'm going to have to get 2 of these because I want standard Budo, but I also want that kind of retaliation one. And I sort of want to see what that straw thing looks like as well, because again, it goes on the back and comes around the neck piece here. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how that looks.
If you put that straw thing, like there's definitely a combination here where you can end up having 2 very different looking figures.
Possibly 3, actually.
Yeah.
because you could get away with putting the scarf on standard Budo on the left, and then you could kind of have the straw, or you could have the ceremony, or both maybe on the other one. There's so many options here. I think it's kind of cool. It's just so cool. Anyway, I'm so happy because I was really excited when we knew Budo was coming. I got very excited. I got even more excited when I knew it was a deluxe, and I've been waiting so long to see what it actually looked like. And when it pops up the other day, I was like, I'm in love. So I think this is an absolutely smashed out of the park. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm going to make a stand, I think, for the gear to go on, because I think that's just it's a cool little idea, and it wouldn't be difficult to kind of throw something together either. And you never know, Gridiron might do it anyway. But there you go. Right then, the only other thing to discuss, Pat, your favorite thing, mate, is listings. So the 2025 listings has been slightly updated. I'll just tell you what those updates are. Budo is Quinn Deluxe down on the lower left of the page there. So that is Budo's internal listing. He was Quinn Deluxe the whole time. And then if we go over to the other side, a couple of updates have been made. We can confirm that L-Seed is the MMS with Colonel Hawk. That is a Fanmazon exclusive, so we can confirm that is indeed what L-Seed is. And we can also get another little change has been made. If you go down to Brainchild 2-pack, that's the Sergeant Slaughter Mercer 2-pack. That's actually a Fanmazon exclusive. We had that down as a Pulse exclusive for the longest time, but that's actually going to be Fanmazon. So that is all the updates and changes to the listings. If you've been paying attention most recently, then that's where we are basically. Who were the revealed names for this month's YoJoe June? Says Figure 6-pack. I don't know what you mean, because we haven't had YoJoe June yet. It's tomorrow. So let me know what you mean on that one, because I'm not sure exactly what the question is there. Someone was saying, even if you just used a donor buck from another figure, you could make a second Budo with the head and other accessories, says Jeffrey Ball. That's actually not a bad shout.
That's a good point, yeah.
Not a bad shout at all. Sean Frederick says, Longsword looks like a repaint of the Red Ninjas. I thought it might be, Sean. I thought it might be. Yeah, okay. That's a good shout. Okay, that's everything for 2025. No changes for 2026. Everything is as you were. The name-only reveals still the same. The Renegades, basically, and the Sarge. And, of course, the digital renders I've updated. Budo now joins that little group over the left-hand side. I would expect to see a lot of this in YoJoe June. The Ore Striker, the MMS, Budo, obviously, Slice and Dice, possibly the retro figures. I think we can see a lot of that stuff this coming month and the June 4th live stream. Right then, Pat, we are into shout-outs. Let's bring it to a close and let's do it. But first, I should say a message from our sponsor. Yes, Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. You can get them right now from Skeletron.com if you're in the US, and TotalToyBooks.com if you're in the UK or Europe. There, done, sorted, brilliant, awesome. And get them because they're fantastic. Right then, other shout-outs, Pat?
Shout out to Philip and Articulated Points. I think that he's putting something together this month because I'm having crazy life. And just got a phone call to pull me away.
So oh no!
I don't have too much time left.
We're gonna have to finish quickly here. Sorry, guys. Articulated Points. Shout out to Phil. On you go. You know the drill. We talked about him every single time. Shout out to Brian Sauer for our wonderful graphics. We are going to be. I did say that we're going to be doing a rebrand for YoJoe June, but it's going to possibly be put on hold ever so slightly. But we will be getting that happening very soon. Very excited to show you guys all of the cool stuff we've got planned for that. So massive shout out to Brian on that one. And also related to Brian is Codename Iowa Assembly Required, of course, which is the in-person convention in Des Moines, Iowa, November 14th and 15th, 2025. Now, if you've been following the show and the page, you'll know that we've had a ton of updates, including obviously the hotel block for discounted rooms. Go to codenameiowa.com to get yours sorted out as soon as possible. They're also doing a Fans in Command kind of event thing as well, where over the last few weeks they've been dropping these really cool locations, and they're going to basically do a fan poll for fans to pick a team to deal with this mission. That will go up on the 2nd of June. So be excited for that one. I think that's Monday, actually, isn't it? So they've just posted all of their locations. I think Eastern Beach, location 1. We've got Mindbender's Lab in the Terradrome for location 2. We've got the Power Station Volcano for location 3. Location 4 was the server farm, the freighter from last week. And now we have location 5. Manufacturing warehouse docks, and it says Cobra keeps their war machine in motion by running their manufacturing facility day and night, churning out armaments, androids, and armored vehicles. Intel suggests the enemy may be building something even more ambitious. Find it, destroy it if possible. So, like I said, June the 2nd, you'll get to vote on who is going to deal with that mission. Quite excited to see how that turns out as well. Anyway, have you got any in mind, Pat, for going on this particular mission to infiltrate Cobra Island?
No, I'm really bad at picking teams to go do things. Just send in Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, you're sending in Sergeant Slaughter. I'm just going to send in version 2 Storm Shadow and Budo. Okay. There you go. Done. Job's done. Job's done. Anyway, also they're doing Operation Armor, which is the online version of AR. More information obviously to follow on that one, including show dates and gear kit pre-order dates as well. All to follow, all to come. Joe Fest as well. They will be at Joe Fest. So the 16th of June is the final day for Joe Fest merch requests. And obviously they will have their booth open on the 20th to the 22nd of January, February, March, April, May, June of June. So yeah, get involved and enjoy yourselves. Now, Word Burglar is dropping his Kickstarter, or I think is it currently running? I can't remember if it's coming soon or running, but basically he's going to be doing a kind of amazing comics like album and it's incredible. There's so much cool stuff going on here. Go check out the link in the description. He's got loads of big industry people doing like artwork and all. It's incredible looking. It's going to be amazing. He posted a very cool update today. I didn't have enough time to put it in the images for the slideshow today, but that looks brilliant as well. A little sneak peek as to what to expect from the comic. So shout out to Word Burglar, and yeah, go check out the link in the description for that Kickstarter, or link on our socials as well for his Kickstarter. Also Skeletron.com, shout out to them. The Robo Skull is available now. Go get it. It's amazing. And then finally, for Kickley Corner, we have the Action Marine, Action Soldier. What do you think about these, Pat?
Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, it's seeing these characters painted feels classic in and of itself.
I'd love these on packaging. Like, yeah. I think Kickley would do a really. I'd love to see Kickley on some sort of like either classified thing or, you know, whatever. Maybe some like old school legacy stuff would be really cool as well. But I love these. He also did the Sailor and Pilot as well, and these look even cooler, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what one's my favorite one from these four.
I'm loving the Pilot. I think it's all the little like intricate details that he's thrown in there as well, like all of the, you know, like the cord on the wire and everything, and just there's so many cool little aspects.
The fact that you can see that the sailor was tied, that it looks like real string on the front of it that was tied together. You know,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So massive shout out to Kickley. Love you. We know we love you, mate. So yeah, keep churning out these wonderful pieces, and we'll keep showing them off. And that is it for the Full Force Weekly this week. Thank you so much to my wonderful co-host Pat. Thank you, dude, for joining me. I know it's been a rough, difficult time, but thank you so much for jumping on.
I appreciate you having me. It's always fun.
Always, buddy. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. All of our patrons. I'll be going live later today for you on the Q&A. So I'll see you later. If you're a Red Shadow Army or SAS patron, I'll see you later today. That's it for the show. You know what to do. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3.
Full force.
Laters. Oh, hang on. I just did something that wasn't right. Hang on, bear with me, guys. Video. This is, yeah, that's it. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full force.